Hey everybody, Aaron Blaze here. It is Friday, May 1st, May Day, day 4,652 of our quarantine. Or at least it feels that way.
Mayday, Mayday.
Mayday. It's my brother's birthday. Travis Blaze. My little brother Travis turns 50 years old today. He is half a century. My little brother is half a century old.
Happy birthday.
Perrier. I got some burp water today.
Burp water?
Mm-hmm.
Burping?
Carbonated water. Burp water.
Fun.
Yeah. But we're going to... also, May. What is May? It's Mermaid. So we're going to do a mermaid today. I've already got some ideas. I've actually been sketching. I like doing big scale mermaids. You know, big giant ones. Whales and stuff like that. So we're going to have some fun with that. And before we get started on that, I want to remind you guys that I've got a huge sale. Nick and I, as soon as this Corona thing started, we decided we wanted people to hunker down and educate. Go in, educating yourself, come out smarter than you were before. And so we've dropped everything down, way down. So many different things. My introduction to animation course is absolutely free. And we've got a whole bunch of courses that are just $1. Matter of fact, yesterday we just made my oil painting course $1. An entire oil painting course for $1. Come on. You gotta come out and try it. And then a lot of our other courses from some of our affiliates, some of my other friends that are on there, Ronnie Williford, Lyndon Ruddy, Chuck Williams, Tim Hodge, their courses are slashed down 60%. So we've got some great deals in there, and it's all for getting educated. And we're going to be coming out of this pretty soon, and I'm hoping that a lot of you come out better than you were going in. That's our goal here at creatureartteacher.com. And put food on our table, but I mean, to be honest, but our goal, our mission statement through this whole thing was to make sure that we could make art education affordable and make it accessible to everybody. There's no reason why education should bankrupt you. And so that's what we've been trying to do. Today, I thought I'd try something new. I got a new guy with me today. His name's Dustin Blaze.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah.
So we got Dustin, we got Nick in Sarasota, and we're on Instagram again. So I'm pretty excited about that. So why don't we dive in?
Let's do it.
So here's a sketch. I gotta touch it. There we go. Touch it. Here's a sketch I was doing. I want this really kind of cool encounter of a night diver, like an old-timey, the diving bell on his head kind of thing, old-timey diver who's gone down to the bottom and he encounters this mermaid way down deep. And I kind of envisioned him standing on the edge of an underwater cliff and her kind of swimming up from the deep. And this is something I sketched out earlier. I had some different versions. That was another version that I did that I thought was kind of cool, but I thought the pose was a little too blah. And then that was one where I scribbled out with her as an octopus, but then it just became a sea monster. It wasn't really a mermaid anymore. And this is one where I turned it sideways, but she's half spiny lobster. So that one I'm going to try another time. But this pose I kind of like. I'm going to go with this. And but there's a couple changes I want to make. Whoops. Whoa. What was that all about?
Wow.
Wow, we got Twitch questions already.
Really?
Yeah. Hey Aaron, you generally do desaturated orange or blue on multiply or overlay. Does it make sense to go sometime with, for example, desaturated green if you want to suggest more greenish shadow? For example, animal surrounded by leafy jungles. Absolutely, and yes, I do that actually. Yes, absolutely. So I like the pose. I want to slender her out and elongate her. I want it to feel almost serpentine, the way it's that she's come up from the bottom.
I believe we got a Nick question here for the website. Somebody's asking how come you can only place 10 items in your cart at a time?
Wow, if you want to buy more than 10, that's awesome. Just come back.
Just buy more another way. Just go in waves.
That's just how it's set up on our web our web thing.
Nick, do the thing. Make it
Do
bigger.
the thing.
Make bigger carts. Currently, oh, here we go. Aaron, can we all sing "Happy Birthday" to your brother?
Yes, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Travis.
Uncle.
Happy birthday to you. And many more. Hopefully he was listening. I don't know if he was.
Oh, he did. Uncle Travis did write a comment. It said, "Nick, do that thing," but it was like while we were in the middle of singing. he just commented, "Oh my God." Happy birthday. Another comment. Nice to hear your voice and chuckle, Aaron. Plus, nice to see your hair growing back.
Oh, I'm actually going to cut it later.
Like Travis says I teared up and farted at the same time. Cute.
There. I want to get this encounter the right. This could be really cool. I'm just going to let the hair go off, I think. It feels like I'm trying to force it within the boundaries of the... Nick says, just place a second order. More than that breaks the site. Exactly.
And all this is and you're drawing currently in Photoshop, correct?
I'm currently drawing in Photoshop. Correct.
Like, it's not Photoshop. It's Photoshop. This May month, on 3rd May of Leopard Day, are you going to draw some leopards?
When is Leopard Day?
I think it's the 3rd of May.
Well, the 3rd of May is Sunday. Well, probably if I'm drawing, I might. Yeah. Sunday I usually take off. Sunday would be my stepfather, who's since passed away. It would be his birthday on Sunday. Papa John. Remember your Papa John?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been his birthday on Sunday. Edwin on YouTube asked, when you started at Disney, were you nervous? Yes, I was. That's a good question. I was nervous. It's a chance of a lifetime. I didn't want to blow it.
Somebody's asking, how about the leopard mermaid?
Ooh, crazy.
Crazy. Can you draw Pocahontas in a live stream in the future?
I probably could. I haven't drawn Pocahontas in years. I don't know if I could still draw her. I have to re-educate myself on how to draw her.
What did you do before Disney?
I was a college student. Before Disney, I was in college, and before that, I was in high school.
How about something Star Wars for May the 4th?
We gonna be doing anything May the 4th?
Um, when is May the 4th?
May the 4th is Monday, so no.
Oh, is it? Yeah, off by a day.
Off by a day.
Well, we're
Well.
gonna be binging some Star Wars that day.
Just want to just get some indication of her face in here.
Uncle Travis says, "Tell them how you first started your cleanups when you started out."
I already did. I told that last week.
Have you ever been to Florence?
No, I want to go. I want to go. Tim Hodge on Facebook says, "Hey, Aaron."
Here.
Hey, Tim. First question: will you be doing more mermaid illustrations or just one for May? We'll probably do more.
How's it going over there? Hope everybody is safe. We're doing good.
We are good. We're mainly trying to be socially distant. We're definitely mentally distant.
You think? What's your favorite mermaid story?
I don't know. Ariel, the Little Mermaid, I guess. I don't know. I don't know of any mermaid stories other than Ariel. Well, there's Splash. I like Splash, which is probably a takeoff on the Little Mermaid.
Do you ever draw on an iPad Pro?
I have an iPad Pro, yes.
What's the best sketchbook for watercolor?
Well, I don't know how many sketchbooks are out there that are for watercolor specifically, but any pad that carries watercolor paper in it, and sometimes you can get books out. You can bind paper in them, and put your own paper in which case watercolor paper, Arches paper would be great, which is what I use. Arches paper. I don't like her face at all.
Have you ever been to Australia, and do you have any plans to visit and do some workshops in the future?
Yes, we want. No, I haven't, and yes, we plan on going sometime in the future. We don't have anything set in concrete right now, but we want to go, and it's just a matter of getting the time to go.
Would you do a course about color, like color theory?
We have one already with Ronnie Williford on our site. Man, I keep making her face worse and worse. Ronnie Williford has got a course on our site already on color theory. It's really good. I'm just gonna throw the simplest of indications. Mouth in here. It's all going to be lit anyway. I'm going to keep it lit simply.
I really love the mermaid whale from last year. Where can I purchase a print?
We've got it on our site. I don't know if we have it set up for a print yet. Actually, I think you can. If you can't find it on our site, I think I have it at pixels.com. Go to pixel.com, and that's got. You just put in my name, search my name, and it'll take you to my gallery.
Are you in touch with Broco these days?
Yeah, we keep in touch fairly regularly. Yeah.
What should we do if we want to work with Disney as well? Do we have to bring a portfolio?
Yes, you do have to bring a portfolio. Anytime you want to get a job at Disney, you need a portfolio, and it's got to be really good. And depending on what it is that you want to do, that's what you're going to fill the portfolio with. So, if you want to do, character design, then fill it with character design. There's all kinds of stuff, that you can do with development and everything else. Nick, I just want to remind you that Nick is reminding me that Tim Hodge, someone was asking about a cartoon animals course, and Tim Hodge, who just said hello from Facebook, he's got a how to draw a cartoon animals course that's 60% off right now on our site. And Ronnie's color theory course that we were just talking about, that's 60% off as well. We're knocking everything down, just so people can. I know people are losing their jobs and maybe can't afford art education as much anymore, and so we're trying to make it really affordable.
What program do you use for animation? Toon Boom Harmony?
No, I use TV Paint. I like TV Paint. Toon Boom's not bad. I've always used TV Paint.
What format do you usually use?
I'm not sure I know what you mean by format, but I do everything at 1080. Her arm is very long there. I do everything at 1080 at a 1:85 ratio, aspect ratio.
Do you ever coach animation one-on-one?
No, I don't have the time to hit everybody. To do that for everyone, I just don't. I've never had the time to do it. Just because we have so many that are requesting our time. I just haven't been able to do it. But we will be trying to do it in the future.
How hard is it to get in the animation industry? I'm just a university student currently studying animation.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're wanting to get into. If you're only looking to get into Pixar or Disney, if that's it, then yeah, it's going to be tough, if not impossible. But if you have your goals set to just be in the industry, there's a lot of different possibilities out there, and so yeah, that enables you to do a few more things. There's commercial. There's lots of different types of TV and all kinds of stuff you could be doing. Educational animation, all of that. YouTube question: will you do a clay sculpting course sometime in the future? Would that help? Would that help with better understanding of shapes and anatomy? I'm currently both drawing and sculpting, and I'm enjoying it. Yes, we have one person we have in mind that we're trying to wrangle, and he's awesome. And we're going to try to get him to do not just a clay sculpting course, but also a digital sculpting course. And I do think it helps you understand form. I don't think it's imperative that you do it, but I do think if you do it, it definitely will help you understand form better.
Do you use hot press or cold press arch paper?
It depends on what I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to do any kind of ink drawing over the paper with the watercolor, then it's going to be hot press because I want the paper to be smooth. But if I'm doing just regular watercolor, I want that rough paper so the paint will bleed a little bit better.
And do you find one of them warpless, or do they both stay unwarped with water?
If I'm doing it on a watercolor block where it's all sealed on all four sides, I find that it stays pretty good. Or you can tape them down. Aiden on YouTube asked, question, I'm just so curious, is that you I see, Aaron, in the old 90s Steve Houston lectures? I don't know.
Good question.
I'm not sure. I can't remember if I was there or not. I don't think so. It may have been. Yeah, now I can't remember.
For a future for a future show recommendation, can you compare squirrel, rat, mouse, and mole skulls and use your fur brushes on them? Thanks for considering this.
That's a very unique request, but yes, I'll consider it for the future. Sure.
Kind of like the how to draw rodents.
Yeah.
Would you have worked as an Imagineer if you were offered?
I wasn't really into that. I might. It depends on doing what. I probably wasn't. I wouldn't be out there building. I definitely would have liked to have designed. That feels better.
The team says my 11, 9, and 7-year-olds are watching as their weekly distance learning art class, and they don't believe you're a real person because you're on the TV. Thank you, creature art teacher from Douglas, Autumn, and Rhett.
I'm a real person. I swear, I'm a real person.
I swear.
That's kind of funny, actually.
They're not real. They're on TV. Have you ever drawn any of the Surface Pros? I'm thinking about getting one since they would be perfect for a school laptop and drawing combo. Just curious if you had any input.
Surface Pro. Which one is that?
I don't remember. I think it might be a Microsoft laptop. I might be wrong.
No, I don't think I have.
Research time. Oh yeah, it's a Microsoft Surface Pro. It's like it's almost like a tablet that you can attach a keyboard to and turn it into sort of a laptop.
Oh, right, gotcha.
You mainly use the iPad Pros, so.
Yeah, iPad Pro.
Do you think you'll get physical books out soon?
You know what? We've got so many goals. Yes, we will. We definitely will. We haven't yet.
One thing at a time.
One thing at a time. So I was kind of studying old diving suits earlier, so this is why I'm kind of got it in my head now. I wanted to be prepared for today's class.
Sarah Eubanks says, "Hi Aaron, I'm Tony Bancroft's student. We met on Zoom. Hope you're doing well. And what references do you look at when going to draw mermaids? Thanks."
I look at a lot of different things. Depends on the type of mermaid that I want to draw, right? So, like last year I did a mer whale, and I made her look like an orca. So obviously I looked at a lot of orcas. But I'll look at all kinds of different fish and just get inspiration.
Martin says, "I always thought Dustin wasn't real. His voices can't be human." I know, right? It is just so weird. And has there been any progress on Snow Bear?
Nope.
Nope.
Sorry, I'm just drawing. What a terrible line that was. Let's just leave it out. All right. So he's standing at the edge of a precipice. A precipice.
My Cintiq 27 HD has broken down, and I've been offered a refund. Should I get the 24 Pro, or would a tablet suffice?
Depends on what you want to do. I can't tell you. That's up to you. For me, a tablet doesn't suffice. I gotta have a big pen display. Tablet's good for on the go. YouTube question, off topic, but can you briefly explain the difference between a bear head and a panda head? Not off the top of my head right now. I mean, the panda heads, they have a much smaller snout, much more blunt snout. Eyes are smaller and set further apart. The head is more round. On my, if you go to my course, I think my How to Draw Bears course is really cheap. If not, if I think it might be $1. If not, it's really cheap. And I cover panda bears, and I actually cover all 8 species of bears in the world. So I recommend checking it out. So let's do this. I want to try this. Let's put this on. I'm going to set this to multiply. I'm going to set this to multiply. Let's go ahead. I want this to feel like it's deep. So I'm going to make this dark blue. Dark blue. Watch this.
Dark blue.
Watch. Here we go. Oh no! What happened to the image?
Uh-oh.
YouTube comment. That's the sort of thing a fake person would say. YouTube question. Hey, when doing a project, how do you guys settle on a style and tone? I'm very indecisive. It really comes down to vision. And, you know, the storytelling style will also a lot of times dictate the style of the look. You know, if it's a very serious tone, then the look might have a more serious style to it. You know, it's a lot of different things. I'm going to jump back to this real quick before I answer any more questions. So I've darkened the water. This is how dark I want it. Might even go even darker. Look at this. I'm going to go even darker and more blue. Boom. Let's do it. So, but I'm imagining him holding an underwater light. And so I am going to put a layer on top, and I'm going to warm the color up and really brighten it up into this bright blue up here. And I'm going to go to my gradient tool, and I'm going to go to a circle gradient, so it goes out from a central point and gradiates in every direction. So I'm going to come up here and go, bam! Look at that. Now it looks like he's holding a light, doesn't it? Bam! We'll do it like that. No, maybe not so much. There, that's the first one. I like that. Now I'm going to warm the light up.
For a minute.
So now when we get closer to the light, we go like this. Look at that.
Way.
We tried even smaller and see what happens. Yeah, like that. I like that better. And then we go inside here even more and brighten, hitting it there. So now we're getting more towards the light source. Now, when I color her in, when I put her local color in and get his local color in, I'll have something to start. Like I'll have a reference for where to shade dark and where to highlight really bright.
You now have a light source.
I now have a light source, sir.
You have a light source now, sir.
So, what color should we make her? Her local color. Let's make her local color. And I'm not sure if I should put this on top or not. I don't know. Let's make her local color kind of dark green gray towards the blue.
Real quick, will this art piece be available on the website?
It can be. Nick, what do you think?
And also, what software is this?
I'm using Photoshop. So right now I'm coloring her over the gradients that I've just done. But I might just check and see what it'll look like if I put her under the gradient. Let's see real quick. Meh. Meh. I want to control the light myself. So no, don't like it. Meh. Which character or scene did you animate in The Rescuers Down Under? Well, I animated a few shots of Cody. I did a lot of the prison animals when they were stuck down in their prison. I did very few scenes. I did a couple of scenes of all the Rescue Aid Society and their meeting. I was a brand new animator, so I was doing very small little shots that they would give me here and there. But lots of prison animals.
How are you guys streaming Instagram and on YouTube at the same time? And what are you using to stream? Well, we are using a software called OBS, which stands for Open Broadcast Software, and we are using a app or a website called Restream, in which we're able to upload the live stream into the site, and from there we can branch off into other sites, other platforms. And so we're actually streaming on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and Twitter, I think. Is it those 5?
Yep.
Nick, is it just 5 or is there more?
I think that's it.
Yeah, so we are everywhere.
So I'm laying in a base color right now, just to get something that I can lock, and then we'll add a lot of markings and stuff. We're gonna keep it just local color for quite a while until I get kind of the markings that I like and.
Trying to get a few voice suggestions. Where it says, doesn't say it's a ghost light in Mater's voice from Cars. It's the ghost light. I can't do Mater too well. And also I feel like I need to scream that one, but I don't want to burst everybody's earbuds. Do Mike's Boss Roz from Monsters Inc. singing Under the Sea. Somewhere beyond the sea.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
No, that's not annoying at all.
I want to go back into character design. Would a tablet be okay for that?
Yeah. A lot of people do character design on tablet. Absolutely.
The design reminds me of Eris from Sinbad Legend of Seven Seas. Kind of does. The wavy hair, I can definitely see that.
Well, of course the hair is going to be wavy. It's underwater.
Well, of course. But you ever see the movie Sinbad?
The animated one?
Yes. The DreamWorks Sinbad.
I think I did. A long time ago.
Yeah, the main villain in the movie, her name is Eris, and she's the goddess of chaos, basically.
Uh-huh.
And her hair was always wavy, like she's underwater. And it was very, very entrancing, I guess you could say, or hypnotizing.
Yeah.
On the way the hair moved.
Trying to just get her all colored in. Jeez, it's taking me forever just to get the silhouette.
don't know if you'll be able to see it from here, but here's images of Eris.
Oh wow, she looks like a bat.
Yeah, it's when she's talking about like she's introducing herself, and she's like, "You probably have seen me up on the walls," and like that's how they portray her as.
Uh,
Her animation was like very, very fluid. Have you ever considered doing a biped animation course?
yes,
Would come in handy when animating dinosaurs and birds.
I absolutely am.
Is it better to be drawing at the angle you have your Wacom, or is it a personal preference?
It's a personal preference. I
And,
just like drawing this way.
and I just switched over to set cam real quick. What is the angle that you are drawing at?
What's the angle I'm drawing at?
Yeah.
It's probably about a 80 degree angle.
What's the favorite movie you worked on?
Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Brother Bear. Those are my favorites.
Your top three?
Yeah. I loved working on those films.
Do you have any idea what software Disney and Pixar use, or even what tablets and computers they use?
I don't know anymore. It's all changed up quite a bit. Everything used to be proprietary. You know, they would do their own stuff as far as software goes. I don't know what they're doing now. Got a lot of friends over there. There we go. Now I feel like the hair is coming together. I love it when a plane comes together. I love it when a plane comes together.
Why not color fill then clip to layer?
Because I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. I don't know what color. I don't know what color fill clip to layer is.
Well, I think they're talking about this color filling, like
Yeah,
like
but
just
my
filling
my
the
lines
thing.
aren't clean.
Hey, Vanessa just hopped on. She said, "Wow, this is gorgeous."
Hey, Vedanta.
Hi, Van. Hi.
So just quickly getting him in here.
How was it working with Glenn Keane?
Glenn Keane's awesome. Glenn Keane is a wonderful, amazing instructor. He's an incredible artist. He's inspiring. He's generous. He's kind. He's patient. He's a really great guy.
Who animated the animals at the beginning of the Circle of Life sequence in Lion King?
Oh, there's a lot of animators. I don't know specifically. I didn't have anything to do with that sequence, but it was a lot of animators.
Yeah, the opening sequence of Lion King alone is just absolutely insane.
Yeah. We were working on that for a long time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And that became the trailer for the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Just the opening sequence was the trailer, nothing else.
Yeah. I thought that was some of the smartest marketing they've ever done.
Would you guys ever use Zoom for a live workshop in the future?
Zoom?
Yes.
Maybe. We've thought about it. There's some stuff we're talking about doing. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to do, but we're definitely looking at doing some different stuff.
Are you still in Are you still in touch with Glenn Keane?
No, not very much. When we see each other, we talk and hang out, but each time I've seen him, the last few times I've seen him, he's been in such demand I can't even get close to him. So he's a busy dude.
Were you guys still using deep canvas on Brother Bear like in the canoe scene?
No. No, those are all 3D elements. We weren't really doing I know Deep Canvas had 3D elements, but it was kind of Deep Canvas kind of went away after a while. It was a lot. It was super labor intensive. You really didn't have to. We didn't need to do it the way we did it. No, everything was basically texture mapped and rendered out. So I'm slowly getting all of the local color in for our mermaid.
The mermaid.
Our mermaid from the deep. There we go. There. So now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer on top, and I'm going to set it to multiply, and I'm going to add some dark blue, and I just want to kind of establish kind of the dark areas where it's going out of light. Just want to start to establish that. I'm doing it on the edges. Just to establish some darker areas there, and I'll be working underneath that. Facebook comment: when I was a teen, Glenn Keane responded to a letter I wrote, including annotated photocopies of his drawings. That's cool. Oh, Claudia. She says hi from Cancun. Hey, Claudia. How are you? We miss you. Oh, let's go back to local color first before I do layer 12. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to local color and start adding. I'm going to lock that layer. And let's start adding some interesting color, shall we? Shall we? Shall we?
Shall we?
Let's give her a kind of a lighter belly along the fins there.
I would love to purchase a step-by-step tutorial of how to break down dance movements. Do you have any tutorials blocking out the making of hippo funk?
You know what? The whole point of doing that was to do exactly what you're talking about, and I never got around to breaking it down. So I will do that. I don't have anything currently right now, no. Don't like that. I don't like it. So, just going to do this.
Are 2D animators destined to develop an art belly? Or do you know some that like to stay fit between art?
I know lots of artists that are fit. I'm just not one of them.
Art belly.
Art belly. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Where is it? Layer 4. There we go.
What do I need to learn as a self-taught artist to become an animator?
You need to learn animation. You really have to understand animation. You've got to understand the ins and outs. You have to understand stretch, squash, appeal. You need to understand all of those things that are going to make your animation great. It's hard to do self-taught when it comes to animation. I'm just going to let you know ahead of time. It's very hard to do. You need to have someone guiding you, along the way. I think.
Which tablet are you drawing right now?
I'm on a Cintiq,
32.
yep, 32 Pro.
Big boy.
I might even give her some bioluminescent light because she's from the deep, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that'd be kind of cool?
Yeah, and actually somebody suggests perhaps do her hair with bioluminescent spots, like some squid.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. Just trying to get some basic color in.
I was actually thinking maybe just all the strands of hair being bioluminescent, almost like a jellyfish, because jellyfish they have that where like all of their tentacles are they glow.
It's a good idea. I'm going over some markings first. Please do that tutorial on dancing. Okay. Sounds good. Scott on YouTube asks, hey Aaron, I'm interested to know your general opinion on rotoscoping. Do you think there's a benefit to that discipline for young animators? I actually do. I've done some rotoscoping, and I did learn, you know, the way I mean, you'll end up falling, sometimes you can fall into a formula of how you move stuff around as an animator. And then when you rotoscope, you'll find that things really don't move that way, and it really opens up your eyes to the way that things really move. Now, it doesn't mean you should rotoscope all the time, and I do think there's something about animation, hand-drawn pose to pose, or just, you know, pose animation that is more appealing than rotoscoping, for sure. And so you want to be careful of that.
Are the lighter tones from the airbrush? Or from an airbrush?
No, I'm just using I'm just using the round brush, the standard round brush.
What is rotoscoping?
Rotoscoping is when you animate over live action film.
Yeah, think of it as like a tracing animation.
Yeah, you're tracing film. So I'm just going through still and hitting markings.
If you had to pick your favorite medium, would you pick traditional or digital art?
I'd have to pick some traditional art. I love digital, but I love having something physical in my hands when I'm done.
Do you have any advice if I would like to relocate myself to USA? I'm European.
Advice about what? That's what I'm. If it's something you want to do, that's great. It might be hard to come here to work and relocate. You know, the current government makes it really difficult. But if that's something you really want to do, that's great. Just know that wherever you are, you have the ability to work from where you are as well. You know, it's a much smaller world we live in now.
As a career choice, do you think a better career choice would be teaching or animation?
I'm not going to tell you what you should pick for your career at all. No, that's not for me to decide. But I do have to say, a good teacher has lots of experience first. If you're talking about animation.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. The
Twitch comment. Hey Aaron, I just wanted you to know that I stumbled across your videos on YouTube and they inspired me to get back into art during a really dark time. I'm now making the best work I've ever done thanks to you. Oh, no, it's thanks to you. You've done it. But that's a cool statement. Thank you.
and somebody's mentioned a good rotoscoping example of the music video "Take on Me." Uh,
Yeah.
uses rotoscoping for animation.
Okay, so now I'm going to put a layer on top.
Do you ever use rotoscoping for reference only without tracing?
Say that again?
Do you ever use rotoscoping for reference only without tracing?
Oh, you mean like live action reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, just looking at it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it. I used to do it a lot.
Yeah, rotoscoping is the actual tracing animation. Without it, it's just plain video.
It's just video reference.
Yeah.
Yes, and I did that a lot. So I'm going to think here. Let me think here for a little bit while I get into this.
Everybody quiet. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out. I'm thinking about the light right now, and the way the light is cast. Off of that lamp, how it's going to cast onto her.
Will you be putting out a series of reference photos for bears like you had recently done for big cats?
Yes, but not for a little bit. What makes a good animator? What part of the animation process do you find the most difficult? A good animator is someone that can lose themselves in the performance and create something so real that you forget that you're watching animation. You forget that you're watching drawings or computer created characters, and that you're watching. It makes you feel like you're watching something real. And that's someone that can really kind of dive into the emotion and make that real to themselves. And it's a talent. It's something it's tough to do. I shouldn't say talent. It takes years of work.
Sorry to push this question, but do you know which course may help learn or improve understanding of graphic shapes?
Well, Ronnie Williford has got a great drawing course coming out soon, but it's not out yet. Graphic shapes, that's a good question. Anything that's going to teach you composition. There. Sorry, my brain is trying to figure this out here.
And for the shadows, are you using a multiplying layer?
Yes, I'm multiplying.
And the software that's being used is Photoshop.
Photoshop. Yes.
Photoshop. Are you ready for a few more questions, or are you?
Wait, just 1 minute. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to figure this out here. Okay.
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 Oh, all right. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Question. Could you share with us how do you think when you're making creatures that combine anatomy of different animals, like how mermaids are a combination of fish and human?
Well, um, you just think about the physiology and how those things might evolve and grow together. Um, with say like with mermaids, I don't think of them as fish. I make fish parts, but it's really the way the fins are, the way they move is more like a whale, right? So I look at whales a lot of times or dolphins. You know those the back fin on a mermaid is horizontal. It's not vertical like on a fish. Fish had vertical fins, and sea mammals, whales and whatnot, have horizontal fins. Flukes. What? Oh, okay. What part? Okay, I just covered all that. Okay, got it. I'm all caught up. Just want to make sure I was caught up.
In traditional animation, there are different animators working on different characters. How are two characters drawn together when they come in contact? And was it possible to resize a character on computer, or does the wrong size mean you have to redraw?
Um, whenever there's a lot of shots that we had that had multiple animators, and really we just the character that was dominant in the shot, that animator would take over, would go first, and then just hand it off, and we would kind of visualize where the other character is going to be. It wasn't that hard really, and it's a lot easier than people think. Um, what was the other part of the question?
The other part of the question is when when the when you're animating in a different size.
Oh, the
Do you
resizing.
yeah,
Yeah,
resizing.
yeah. We could just resize. Back in the day, we had to resize with a Xerox machine. It was very low tech.
Nowadays, you can probably do it with a computer. Easy
Yeah,
peasy.
yeah.
What did Disney have for catering when you worked there?
For catering,
For catering.
well, we just catered out. You know, we ordered out from different restaurants. They brought it in. That's a weird. That's a very unique question.
What kind of food do you get at Disney? Whatever you want.
That's funny. Okay, so now I want to put I'm going to put another layer, a multiply layer. I'm going to put that right over our guy here. I'm just going to darken him in.
Uh,
This is still just the initial pass of light and dark. Just trying to get a sense of value structure. Notice how I'm going to leave him on the left side lit. I'll be casting a shadow back. Go ahead, Dustin.
for an animation portfolio, I heard Glenn Keane suggest that you only put one drawing per page. Is that just his preferences, or is that how I should set up mine? Seems weird to put one animal or one person per page.
Yeah, that's his preference. I don't have that preference, and there's not a lot of people that have that. Yeah, as long as it's not overcrowded, you don't want it to be overcrowded.
Yeah, you don't want like 20 different subjects on a single page.
Yeah, but no, you don't have to do just one. I don't think. So now we're getting a good sense of light here. We're starting to get it starting to come in. YouTube question: do you think you can do a tutorial for hair and hairstyles? I've always struggled with drawing hair. That's a great idea. Yes, we've actually had that request before, and I will cover that.
If you could go back in time and talk to your younger self
If we could go, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
before embarking on your career at Disney Animation, What advice would you give yourself?
Be patient.
Be patient.
If I could turn back time. Sounds just like Cher, don't it? Be patient. Patience, patience, patience. Let it just happen. You know, that's what I give. That's the advice I give a lot of young people. Be patient in the development of your career, especially in animation. Animation is something that has to age, and it has to, you know, the way you learn it, you have to. It doesn't happen overnight.
You learn things over time.
Over time. And unfortunately, we live in an age where, you know,
Everything is instant.
we want everything right away. Yeah, and it's just not the case.
Have you ever heard of the podcast Draftsman, which is hosted by Proco and Marshall Vandriff? I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it, but yeah, I have heard of it. I like that Proco guy, all right. He's okay.
Have you ever read The Illusion of Life?
That's the first animation book I got when I was 18 years old, 19 years old. I've got it right there. See that book that's all torn up in the top? With the red binding? Right in the middle on the top with Pinocchio on it.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing a book in your collection since I was little.
I've had that book since like
since
2 years before you were born. I got that book.
Yeah, so that book has been around all my life.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm going to put a layer on top here. Just want to make sure I'm putting it in the right place. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to set it to overlay.
Does your arm get tired from drawing at such a high angle?
Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, so let's see here.
And how old were you when you started animating?
I was 20.
Really? I thought you you started animating the moment you were born.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So now I'm thinking about all the places that the light on that lamp that he's holding, where it's hitting, and it's going to really be hitting bright on the hand here when it comes up.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello.
Can you draw a rabbit, maybe in the next stream, or can you keep it in mind of a future stream?
Sure. A rabbit. Hello, rabbit.
I don't know about you, but I'm thinking it's duck season.
I think it's rabbit season.
It's rabbit season.
So I'm finally getting some volume here. You can see now we're getting a good sense of light on her. Like she swam up into the light. Whoops.
And what brush are you currently using?
Just a standard round brush. Photoshop's round brush. It's not even one of my own brushes. I like using the round brush because it gives a smooth kind of feel. I can use it lightly.
Dustin, that impression of Cher was seriously good. Too good. If I could turn back time.
No, that's not. No, don't say it.
Do you like any gritty concert art like H.E. Geiger or
Geiger.
What? Geiger.
I like Geiger. Yeah, I like Geiger a lot actually.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Geiger, there would be no aliens.
That's right.
Could you imagine yourself being something other than an animator?
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that if I wasn't an animator or an artist, visual artist, that I'd be a musician. I just never followed being a musician enough. I wish I would have played more, practiced more.
I've been loving your art for a few years now, and trying to build my portfolio, but struggling to know what I need. What are the basic components of a good animation or character design work portfolio?
Well, those are two different things, animation and character design. So you want to make sure you're clear on that. Animation, obviously you want to have animation in there that shows off your acting abilities and animation abilities. Beyond that, for character design, I would suggest that you have at least four different types of character design, meaning four different styles, character turnarounds, character poses, attitudes. Whenever I pose a character, I try to get as much story into the pose as I can, so think about that. Those are all things that are going to help your portfolio.
Do you think 2D animation films will return? For example, Klaus has brought a lot of attention back to 2D.
Exactly. So yeah, I do. It's already happening. Yeah.
And do you vary the texture using your custom-made brushes?
I do. Sometimes I do, but not very often. I usually just keep the texture I've got. What part of the animation process or principles did you take the longest to master at the beginning of your career? It's all of it. It's not that any one part takes longer than another. It's getting all the parts to work together. That's what's hard. It's like when you're a boxer or a wrestler or something, you work on coming up with combinations and working them together, combinations of lots of different things that you try to work through without thinking about any one thing. You're working until that combination is intuitive. It just happens. And it's the same with animation. It's not that I'm sitting there thinking about, okay, appeal, and then I'm thinking about, okay, squash and stretch, and now I'm thinking about overlap. It's all of it is working together, and you just do it. And that's the part that takes time, where you're just doing it without thinking about it. Whatever language you speak it without thinking about it. Animation is the same way.
Amazing drawing already. Do you have recommendations or favorite ways to practice lighting a painting?
I don't have favorite ways of lighting a painting, but I do think of, I have a brand new lighting course that I've just put out. And I go over a lot of this in there, but I really think about the object in the 3D space that it's in and the way that light is blanketing it, the way it's hitting it.
And what blend mode do you use for the lighting?
Well, right now I've just got it set to overlay. Okay, there we go. So now what I've done is I've lightened up my pencil drawing, so now I can see where I need to add details. So now I'm going to put a layer right on top of the pencil drawing part. And now I can start cleaning up. I can start. I'm going to keep it in the round brush.
Dustin, what's your opinion on Finding Nemo, and who's your favorite character in that movie? I like Finding Nemo. It's a very fun movie, and my favorite character is Crush, the surfing turtle.
How do you remember all the names?
I actually kind of just looked up the name. Because I remember the turtle, I just didn't remember the name, so I just quickly Googled it.
Oh, there you go.
But Do you change the hardness of your brush in Photoshop? And what is your default?
My default is my brush that I've created that I like to go back and use.
What's the default hardness?
Oh, I don't know because I don't mess with that.
Do you often change it, or do you rarely ever change
I don't
that?
change the hardness. No, I don't mess with that. I just said.
Right. Just wasn't sure if it was. Okay.
Yeah. No one ever listens to me.
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything. What?
Sorry, what?
This looks like a movie poster for not so little Mermaid.
So I'm looking now. Here's a lesson. So here's a couple of things that I would think about. So right along here, this edge of their body, it's getting dark and it's going to blend in with the shadow of her fin. But there's one thing that's telling me that it might be a little lighter than that shadow back there because it might be catching some light bouncing off of where the fin is catching light. So what I might do is grab some of that fin color, go a little warmer and just a touch brighter, and then go along the body, maybe not so bright, a little bit darker.
Would the new Creatures of the Forest class be good for a traditional artist? I know it's digital, but I can't currently afford a digital setup and love the subject matter.
Sure. Yeah, it's all about imagination. I mean, there's some areas in there that I talk about photo bashing, but it definitely. I mean, you could definitely use it for traditional. I think.
How do you deal with the quarantine? Are you more productive?
I've worked from home for years, so yeah, I'm pretty productive anyway.
But you're also doing all the stuff in the back. that
Oh
you started
yeah,
doing since the quarantine.
we built an entire new yard in the back. So one thing I'm going to do, I want to push her back a little bit. I'm going to put.
If my only option is to self-teach myself character design, how would I go about doing that? Are there any steps or subjects to tackle that you recommend?
I've got an entire course. If you want to teach yourself, I've got an entire course on character design. I've got it's like 16 hours worth of teaching, and there's a lot of other websites out there that offer character design courses as well. That's what I would recommend. I don't recommend doing it on your own because you won't learn anything that way. I don't think. You need to find a source that will teach you what you need to know. Come on.
Can you visit other departments in the animation studios?
Can I visit them?
Like, were you able to visit different departments when?
Oh yeah,
Different from your own.
absolutely. I don't like that. Absolutely, yes, yes. I'm gonna do multiply again. And gradient tool. I want it to feel like it's really dark down there.
I was saying hello from TT Games.
Hey, how you doing?
During your career, have you
Oh,
had...
right now. Sorry, Dustin. Right now, the character design course is 60% off through Monday only. So it's a really good deal. Just letting you know. Go ahead, Dustbutt.
During your career, have you ever had any quote unquote teachers in while going through your career?
Teachers?
Yeah, like role models or
Yeah, I had lots of them.
mentors.
I had a lot. Glenn Keane and basically everybody I worked with was a mentor in some way or another to me. Absolutely.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, eh? I've been following you for a couple of years now, and I really love your approach and the way you share this with others. Do you have any advice for beginners on how to balance your learning and practice?
Um, it's a tough one because I get that question a lot, and I I never I don't have any method to like this is exactly what I do to keep things balanced. There's nothing like that. I work when I want to work. I spend my time with my family when the time is right. I make sure that work doesn't come first, family comes first. And that's pretty much how I do it. And it's always worked for me. Work isn't everything. And just remember, animation's great, art's great, but family's number one.
How do you know when to choose warm or cold colors?
I think about the source. I think about what's giving me that light or that darkness, and what's the overall temperature of color around all that. And whoops. So then I use those notions, and I run with it. And I don't. You'll notice now, like I'm working pretty subtle. I don't go really harsh right away. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of reflected, even brighter than that.
Hey, Aaron. Have you heard the new discovery on the Spinosaurus's tail looking like a tadpole?
Yes.
Really interesting.
I did. I saw that. It was pretty cool.
And do you still design characters for movies?
I haven't, not in a while. No, not in a while.
Does the studio have a kitchen? I love cooking.
What studio?
Probably Disney Animation Studio, I take it.
Oh, well, we had a kitchen in there. I guess if that's what they're talking about.
I think the person was asking like if you're able, like if they had like a full kitchen where so that way you can like, where you can like really cook something.
No, we didn't have that. We did have a basic area where we could cook.
With like microwave or fridge.
Yeah. YouTube question. Hello, Aaron. I've recently finished your Fundamentals of Animation course and I love it. I have a question. How do you advise people study animation without instructor feedback? That's a tough one. You've got, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there because that is a tough Find someone that understands animation enough that they can give you honest feedback when you show it to them. I mean, that's really the best thing I can tell you. I don't know what else to tell you there. Yeah, that's tough. There are paid. There's some paid mentorships where you can pay folks to look at your work. I don't currently do that. Um, there's that. There might be an opportunity there.
What program do you use to stream? We are currently using, for the latecomers, we're using OBS, or Open Broadcast Software. And if you're interested in streaming on multiple platforms at once, also use Restream. So OBS and Restream if you want to stream on multiple platforms like we're doing.
So I'm trying to keep the light area and some of the details I'm creating kind of subtle. I don't want to go too bright too soon.
Do you have friends from other countries, or where they started?
Where do I have friends from other countries?
Yeah, and where do they start?
Where do they start? I don't know what you mean.
I think like one of your friends, like Alex, like he came from a different country, right?
I have lots of friends from other countries.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Where do they start?
Like where do they start? Where do they come from before Disney? I think.
Oh, well, I've got friends that I'm friends with that had nothing to do with Disney. But I have friends in Japan. I have friends in Kenya. I have friends in Russia. I have friends in England. I have friends in Denmark. I have friends all over the world. And in Brazil and Colombia.
But were any of them with work for Disney with you?
A lot of them did. China. So let's come down here. I'm going to jump down here and hit this a little bit.
And the platforms we're currently streaming on, somebody else is asking, we're currently streaming on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And on all the other sites, we are streaming on The Art of Aaron Blaze on all those platforms. Right?
Yep.
I think is YouTube still the Art of Aaron Blaze, or is it Aaron Blaze Art?
Aaron Blaze Art.
Aaron Blaze Art. But everything else is the Art of Aaron Blaze. What's your opinion on gallery work?
That's a broad question. I think gallery work is great if you can get into it. I love gallery work. I love going into galleries.
I'm having the hardest time drawing noses, even with the human anatomy course on your site. Do you have any other tips or resources you can point me to?
Look at people's noses. Seriously, I'm not trying to be funny. Look at people's noses. Have people pose for you. Get a sense of what that nose is doing. That's how you're going to get better at it. There we go.
Oh, it's the other way around. So it's not. So the Art of Aaron Blaze is Facebook, and all the other sites are Aaron Blaze Art. That's the way it is. My mistake. Which program do you use to draw and animate?
How about you answer that, Dustin?
He is using Photoshop currently for drawing, and for animating, he actually uses a different software called TV Paint.
TV Paint software.
Hey, Dustin, I absolutely love your impressions, and they're always making me laugh. My all-time favorite ones are your impressions of the Moose Brothers from Brother Bear, Runt, and Took. Thank you very much. Hey, I'm Runt. This is my brother Took. How's it going, Bear? How come no scales on the tail?
I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm gonna get to it.
One thing at a time, dear bud.
Just trying to get the details in on this guy first.
Do you work on acrylic or watercolor?
Yes. I work both. Work both.
And the tablet he's using currently is the Cintiq 32-inch Pro. Cintiq 32-inch Pro by Wacom. Somebody's asking the group, guys, has he worked with Disney before? Yes, Aaron has worked at Disney before.
There, so I'm getting some details on our diver here.
So after the Birds of Prey course, what other animals do you plan to teach in future courses?
Oh, man, there's going to be a lot. I'm going to be doing African animals, the big game of Africa, big game of North America, European big game.
Yeah, I feel like we've already done so many, and yet I feel like we've all only scratched the surface.
Man, there is a bug in Photoshop, in the latest Photoshop, that drives me nuts. I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but every once in a while it just goes completely opaque. Really quite annoying.
Great knowing you, bud. What dimensions do you use when you're starting a new piece?
It depends on like the format that I want it to be, but like this one is 18 by 24 because I want it to be a poster. Ultimately, if we decide to do a poster, 18 by 24 is a standard size poster. So it really depends on what I'm at 300 DPI.
Are you able to use both hands, or are you strictly left-handed?
Strictly left-handed. I'm not ambidextrous.
When you're on the go, do you use the iPad Pro?
Yes. Not all the time, but I do, yes.
Do you have any experience with colored pencils?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm going to take a break from questions for a second while I do this.
Well, actually, I can answer one question here. Somebody's asking that camera switch was so professional. Well, it's not really a question, but the way I did that was with an item called Stream Deck. If you go onto Amazon or B&H, you can find it. It's a device that allows you to switch between different scenes on OBS or what other software you're using. So I can on the fly switch from this to this, or if I want to go to just to his face, say hi, Dad.
Hey, am I looking over here?
No, I'm looking
Okay.
at the webcam. There you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Or to me, hi. Just easy switching up on the go. And so that is with Stream Deck. Dustin appears very friendly. I try to be. I try to be friendly. And been having a lot of people complimenting on your artwork so far.
Oh, good. Now we want to start getting some details in here. All right, let's start having some fun with it. So I want to add some details. Let's do it on the ground first.
Yes, I am Aaron's son. Aaron is my dad. Can you give any tips to someone who's thinking of starting animating? Because I just don't know where to start. I love your work.
Start with getting tutorials online. Look around. There's lots of places. Just look up animation. I've got an entire free introduction to animation on my website, creatureartteacher.com. The entire introduction is completely free, and it's all you can do hand drawn. It's all hand drawn fundamentals.
Are you twin brothers? Yes, we are twin brothers. But Aaron is a bit older by 21 years.
22.
22. What was your favorite Disney project? I know you got this question earlier, but
Yeah, I did, and you keep asking the same questions over and over. So
for the latecomers.
yeah, I worked. I like. Let's see, Brother Bear, because that was one that I really worked hard at, and I got a lot of satisfaction out of it. And Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, I really enjoyed making those films.
For the timing sheets at Disney, how did they work out the dialogue to know what frames are which?
We have people that are called track readers. And the track reader's job is to go in and play that soundtrack back and forth. And they can figure out by listening to the dialogue on what frame each sound falls on. It's a pretty cool thing. I'm going to lock that layer real quick. Whoops, no, turn it off. Lock it. It's pretty cool. And there we go. And so the process enables us to completely just kind of immerse ourselves in the animation and not have to worry about having to figure out where things hit. It's already figured out for us. And so it really helped us a lot as animators, having those track readers doing that.
Do you have any friends from Argentina?
I've known a few people from Argentina over my lifetime. I wouldn't say I'm currently in touch with anyone from Argentina.
How do you make an illustration look underwater? Like, have that special look?
Well, it's using a lot of atmosphere, and which we're going to be adding more of as we go. And I want to make sure that the light doesn't go very far. The light, matter of fact, I'm going to change up brushes. here what I'm going to do is I want to start adding markings on her. I want to start getting some nice markings. Let me see here. I want to look up some. Kirk on Facebook says Aaron's course on human anatomy has a cool section on drawing noses. Seriously good, and it's just $1 right now. That's true. It's only $1.
Do you know how to draw naked mole rats?
I do, actually, believe it or not.
Do you have any tips for rigging animation?
I don't. I don't know anything about rigging.
How do I get rid of art block and just tackle through it?
Exactly. You just got to tackle it. You just get in there and you work every day. You know, do work as often as you can. That's the best way to prevent art block because, you know, the more you're doing it, the more your brain gets used to figuring it out. Yeah, I hate that hand. I'm going to fix that in a little bit.
Yeah, and if you're stuck in a quarantine and you're having an art block, just find the most random subject in your room. Like draw your TV, draw your desk, draw your hand sanitizer. Just draw anything you can find as a subject, no matter how random it is. Just draw it and do it. Just get your brain motivated, no matter what the cost.
Yeah.
Why do you use TV Paint and not another animation software?
Because I like TV Paint the best. That's why. That's it. That's what it comes down to. I like TV Paint the best. Alright, so I'm going to completely redraw this hand. Right here. Don't like it. But I've got the hand drawn on several different layers. And I want to find all the layers that I've drawn it on.
Are your children artists? I used to do a lot of drawing, but I do a lot of wildlife photography now, and you can actually find my stuff at Dustin_Blaze on Instagram. But Austin does some watercolor, and she's gotten into stained glass now. She's been doing really good with that.
My kids experiment with art. I wouldn't call them artists.
Yeah. But we have fun doing that.
Oh, I gotta do that. There we go. All right. So I want to have her hand kind of like this.
Have you ever done storyboard?
Yes, I have. I did do storyboards back in the day. Oops. Let me go a little bit.
You also have a storyboard course.
Yes, we do.
By Lyndon.
Got a storyboard course by Lyndon Bruddy, who's an excellent board artist that I worked with at Digital Domain. Sorry, I'm just thinking here. Trying to get the right attitude to the fingers. Got a great storyboard course there.
What are your thoughts on the Avatar movie?
I love Avatar. I love that movie. I can't wait for the next 2 or 3 or whatever it is that's going to be coming out to come out.
Yeah, it's... I mean, the movie's at least, what, 10 years old, if not more? And it still holds up so well.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. and can only imagine what the sequels are going to be like.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Do you have any tips for keeping a good sketchbook?
Just draw. Yeah, drawing your sketchbook. Keeping a good sketchbook means drawing in it, and so you got to, it takes time, and just sit in there and sketch away. That's the best tip I can give you, is to just draw away.
Back in the day, what was your reaction when you were told you were hired as an animator for Disney?
I wasn't hired as an animator, actually. I was hired as a cleanup artist, and I was very excited. I was very nervous, and very excited, very humbled, and very honored, and it was a very cool opportunity for me.
Is it good practice to start with a messy sketch?
I don't think you should ever start with a messy sketch. You start with a loose sketch. Loose doesn't mean messy. Loose means trying to find your forms, trying to find your gesture, trying to find your fluidity, all of that, and then you move on from there. But it doesn't mean messy. That's what a lot of people think loose drawing is messy drawing. That's not what it is. YouTube question. I read in the Animator Survival Guide he highly recommends working in a quiet room and no music. Do you do this? Well, I don't know. I don't get a quiet room. I don't get to have one. But I do get to have. I don't work without music either. I need to have music, and so depending on what I'm doing. Depending on what I'm doing for work, if I'm trying to figure out dialogue, I can't listen to music. It works the same part of your brain, and I get distracted. But if I'm trying to figure out, if I'm just drawing, then it works fine. Then everything's great.
Aaron, didn't you go to the Ringling Brothers College?
Nope.
You went to the Ringling
I
Art
went to
College.
Ringling College of Art and Design. Not the Ringling Brothers.
What is the most important thing in color theory in order to choose suitable colors for beginners?
It's understanding color harmony, and understanding your warms and cools. If you can just do that, if you can just understand warms and cools, you'll be off to in a good place. And let me see here. There we go. That's shadows right there. So if you can work on that, then you've got a good head start.
Dustin, do you ever do any Ice Age impressions? I have not impersonated any of those characters at all. I haven't watched any of those in years. What are your views on Andrew Loomis? Andrew Loomis?
I don't know Andrew Loomis. I think he's a figure artist. But I don't really know. There we go. Just want to just barely get something in there, and then I can adjust it later. There we go. Hey, Twitch question here. Does digital art make doing traditional harder? Should you switch between the two often? I think you should. I don't think it hurts, that's for sure. Switching between the two. will definitely keep your art on its toes. I find that my art is better um, when I'm switching back and forth between the two.
I always struggle with proportions. Do you have any tips to improve on that?
Yeah, it's drawing from life. You really have to draw from life in order for your proportions to get better. The more you can do that, the better off you're going to be. You know, and look at when you're drawing. Look at the your subject as a whole. Look at the whole thing before you start diving in.
What was the best compliment and the most challenging criticism you ever received?
I don't know. I've had so many. Yeah, I get those kind of questions all the time, and I just you know what I don't pay attention to them. The criticisms I don't take them to heart. I listen to them, and I learn from them, and then I move on. I don't remember them as like, oh, that's the harshest piece of criticism I ever got. You know, I get those a lot, and I just don't. You know, I'm 52 years old, and I've gotten a lot of criticism, and I've gotten a lot of praise, and you know, and you use it, and you move forward from it.
In many fairy tales, mermaids are evil and they pull the sailors under the water. Is your mermaid good or evil?
I think she's good. I think this one's good. For sure. Faux show.
Oh, shall.
So I'm trying to get her a little brighter here as she comes in. Oh, we've been on it almost 2 hours already.
Have you ever been to the University of Portsmouth in the UK? That's where I first discovered who you were. I can't remember how exactly, though.
No, I've never been there. I've never been there. I'd like to go. So now I'm going to experiment. I'm going to put some bioluminescent light in here on this character. Let's give her a little bit of light.
How many layers do you usually use?
As many as it takes. No, really. I mean, and no, but it's whatever it takes to get the job done. I usually use quite a few layers.
What was the most layers you ever?
I don't
ever
know.
done?
I've done a lot.
I'm pretty sure like your house is somewhere like in the 50s, if not more, maybe like
Oh, yeah.
100. Would you be able to recreate this art on a small graphics tablet without being a Cintiq?
I think so.
I get pain in my hand from drawing over time. Is there a special glove I can wear?
No, it's. I think it's how you draw. Stop gripping your pen or pencil or stylus so tightly. I think that's part of it. There we go. Kind of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I've caught myself doing that where or I feel like I've over gripped my pen to try to keep it as steady as possible, but it ends up cramping up my hand over time.
Yeah. Kind of like the bioluminescence.
And you actually prevent the hand cramping on your end most of the time because you use your shoulder instead of the
Yeah.
wrist or the elbow.
Yeah, it's exactly right. I'll leave those out.
I actually think it would be interesting to make a video on how to use shoulder motions, on like exactly how you turn that into your movement.
I could do that.
How do you do an amazing illustration in just 2 hours?
Practice, baby, practice.
Lots and lots of practice.
I'm going to try switching up the brush. I want to put markings where the bioluminescence is.
Would you ever do the Loch Ness Monster or a Spinosaurus? I'm still waiting for paleo art from you.
Yes, I would someday. I don't know paleo art very well. That's why I don't do it. I need to understand the subject before I draw it. Whoops. Back. There we go.
Do you look back on your work and want to change things, or can you be happy with what's there?
Oh, I'm happy with what's there, and I know that there's room for improvement, and which is what I've aimed to do my entire career. I look back on it and think, yeah, I did the best I could with the knowledge that I had then, and I moved on, and so I from that point of view, I kind of, I don't go back and regret anything. There's things that I know could have been better, but I did the best I could with the knowledge that I had at the time. YouTube question. I always watch your live streams. I never see you draw dinosaurs. You plan to draw some dinosaur because it's interesting how you would draw it. Yes, I'll tell you what. You know what? I get that request so much. I'll do a dinosaur. But I need to sit down and figure out dinosaurs. I don't draw them because I don't know them.
Like, all right, that's it. I'm doing a dinosaur.
Instagram question. Do you use 3D models in your work? I do not.
Who inspires you in this field?
Oh, there's a lot of people that inspire me. The list is too long. There's a lot of artists out there today that really inspire me.
How do you choose your colors so perfectly?
I try to think of harmonious colors. Colors that go together on the wheel. And then I roll with it.
How do you know when you've done enough on one particular drawing? I always feel I overwork mine.
Yeah, that's just something that comes with experience. You'll know over time. Like this one, I've still got a little ways to go. We're going to be on this. I'm going to be on this for at least another 40 minutes. Hey Aaron, what type? Hey Aaron, this is looking great. Have you got any advice on drawing cat's eyes? I struggle to do the black outlines without them looking bug-eyed. One thing helps is make sure you get the shadow of the brow of their eye in there. That always helps. I know it sounds weird, but it really does. It helps. Hey, YouTube question. Hey Aaron, what type of music do you like to listen to while drawing? I listen to a lot of different stuff. My main stuff I like to listen to is just kind of easy listening, kind of electronica kind of stuff, chill out music. But I listen to a lot of blues. I listen to I like a lot of stuff. It's hard to. I mean, literally, I've got tons of different types of music. A lot of John Mayer, Eric Clapton, Um, Annie Lennox. I love Annie Lennox. Oh my gosh. See, that's the Photoshop every once in a while does this thing. It just drives me nuts.
Will you be putting this process on your YouTube channel? Yes, all this is
Yeah,
being, all this will be recorded and posted on YouTube.
This is being streamed on YouTube right now. And yes, I'm going to be adding bubbles. I'm going to be adding bubbles and
Bubbles.
kind of light streaks coming down.
Somebody says that her eyes should be glowing.
That's actually a great idea. Let me try it. Let me see what that looks like. I like that idea. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
I'm going to do it with a blue, more of a blue. There, let's do this. I don't know what it's going to look like, but let's see.
Is there a method to choosing your shading colors versus your highlight colors?
I just make sure that my highlight colors. Oh, doggone it, why is that? Make sure your shading colors are always darker than your lights, and vice versa. I know that sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. They get a little sidetracked in keeping track of where their values are. Yeah, I like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some glow on it too. Good idea, person. Wherever you are.
That was a Cesar Aguilar.
Caesar.
I do apologize if I just butchered the name, but
Caesar Aguilar?
yeah.
Come on.
When did you know you wanted to be an artist for life?
When I was about 5, I just always known I wanted to be an artist.
When are you coming to Brazil again?
I don't know. I don't know when we're going to be to Brazil again. Doggone this thing. It's not going to be anytime soon, obviously, because of the virus. But I'm not sure. But I sure love it, and I miss it down there. So I'm putting a little glow around her eyes. Just trying to think about this light down here, which I've neglected to really do anything with.
What about the shining jellyfish hair?
Oh, getting that glowing.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see what that. I'm going to put that on another layer. Let me see what that'll look like. I don't want to overdo the bioluminescence. Don't want to do that. But I do like the idea.
Yeah, dear.
Almost want it to be almost kind of random, you know?
Are you planning in the future to do an animation course where you would show coloring poses, or is it the same as a regular illustration? And also, which software do you use for coloring animations?
I use TV Paint for everything.
Everything animated.
Yeah, and my and I do have a tutorial out there where I cover painting, coloring your characters in TV Paint. Have I ever read a book that I found extremely interesting? Yes, I've read lots of books that I found extremely interesting. Many books. Have you ever lost a piece you spent hours on? Recently happened to me while in Photoshop and I wanted to scream. Yes, back in the old days. It doesn't happen to me anymore. I've got autosave on here, so I can't lose anything. But it's happened. Yeah. Manny's here?
Yellowstone National Park. Oh, wait. Never mind. You just wrote that. Because we're not going to Yellowstone. Hi, Manny.
Manny. But maybe we'll go to Africa.
Ooh. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So what do you think of the sparkles in the hair?
The sparklies.
I kind of like it. She's looking like a bioluminescent mermaid.
Yeah.
Are you going to be drawing a mermaid every day of May? No.
No.
Nope, not going to be doing that. But I'll hit one every once in a while. Like this one.
May says that he sent you a video of the flooding in Africa.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, I saw a video that someone posted on Facebook, and I got worried that maybe Jorge was flooded out. Yes, I'm going to add bubbles. What's that? Draw a pencil.
Like, how much of the Mara has been...
Well, the high ground is still good, but down by the river is overflowed, and it's anything, that's basically the riverbank, and anything, a few feet above that has been flooded out. So there's quite a few acres that have been flooded on the Mara.
Is that where the camp that you're at was laid out at?
Yeah.
V is saying that the light in the hair is too much.
I don't think so. I don't feel it. I like seeing the sparkles. Feels like starlight.
I just got here. It looks amazing. Could I see the whole image?
There we go.
I am. Ready.
There's the whole image.
Jorge, Manny says that Jorge and the crew had to bring things up to the cabins. The cabin that you stayed in was has water under it.
Wow. But not in it. That's good. Now there's another thing we can do. I'm going to try a couple things now. First of all, let's get some bubbles in here.
Bubbles.
Bubble boil.
My bubbles.
There's a point where you're going to see the bubbles disappear, like right about here, and then all of a sudden there'll be light over dark. See? I want them to be dark over light to begin with. And then light over dark. And then they should get quite a bit darker up here.
Will you ever come to Iran?
Not in the near future, unfortunately, because of the way our government is working. I don't think we'd be able to go. But we definitely think about you. And I don't agree with everything that's going on, that's for sure. But maybe someday, when things are better, I hope we can. There's the bubbles. It's got bubbles going up. Now I've also got kind of these bubble brushes. Bubble, 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 toil and trouble. I've got the other one right here. So I can add them real subtly in here. That feels nice. I like that.
Do you usually work with references?
Sometimes, yeah. I didn't on this one today, but I often do.
What
Oh,
aquatic?
that's too much.
What aquatic animals do you both like the most?
Aquatic animals that I
Yes.
like the most.
I personally, I think my favorite is the manta ray.
It's hard to say. I can't pick my favorite.
What's the first thing that comes to mind? Go.
Yeah, I love sharks. Fascinated by sharks. Gotta get some of that nice blue in here. Sorry, I'm kind of getting engrossed by the see, it just randomly does this opaque thing. Driving me nuts, eh? There. See, this little blue secondary light really adds a lot to the color here. See what I'm doing?
1 second.
What are you doing?
Talking to Nick.
There we go. Gonna get some finishing touches in here.
How are you drawing so much and not getting any back pain?
I'm strong like bull. There. I think we're finally coming together to something I like, finally.
And what are the references you're using when drawing the mermaid's tail?
I just made it up. I've seen a lot of fish. I used to work on a boat. I've seen a lot of fish. I've caught a lot of fish. I've ate a lot of fish. Now, I want to get some texture in there. Now, there's a couple ways we can do this. I'm going to do this a couple different ways. Let's see here. First way is to take this all and put it into a folder. And copy that folder. And go merge. Like so. Now that I've got that merged, there's a couple things I want to do before we get on to the texture on the body. I want to get that light really bright. So I'm going to come up to my airbrush. I'm going to set my opacity way down to 12%. I'm going to go to color dodge. I got nice bright orange, yellow. And blow that up, and I'm just going to hit that. I'm going to burn that right in. Get that all nice and bright feeling. Same thing I'm going to do along the body here.
Is there a backstory to this? And do either of these characters have names?
This character came from the deep. I don't know of a name that she has. She's friendly. I'm getting her lights to light up here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm burning in the areas that are supposed to be light so that they glow a little bit. If I blow this up a little bit, you'll see it'll, those lights will glow. So I'm going to turn that up even more. Way I don't have to hit it so often. See there? They're glowing. I'm painting with light. I'm actually lighting these things up. Their eyes I'm going to get to really glow. There we go.
Have any of your images ever been converted for jigsaw puzzles? And would you want to do that in the future?
I've had several people that have been chasing me down to do that. Yeah, Nick was just saying it's. Several people are saying it's a bug in the latest Photoshop. Yeah, I know it's a bug. I've been corresponding with other people, and it's really annoying. Never had it happen before. So here, as we get closer to the light source, I'm trying to get the hand to glow even more. I'll get it really nice and hot.
Have you ever watched any of the Miyazaki films?
Oh yes, very many.
Yes, we both love Hayao Miyazaki films.
So here, now you can see we've got a nice sense of light happening. Now you want to be careful not to overdo it. So I'm just being careful, trying to be nice and tasteful.
What's your favorite Ghibli movie?
I would say Princess Mononoke
No.
and My Friend Totoro.
Totoro?
Totoro.
I'm more of a top three. It's Princess Mononoke, then Castle in the Sky, and Porco Rosso. Those are my
Facebook
top.
question: have you seen Kim Jong Ji's work or process from memory? Any thoughts? By the way, I'm loving your courses already. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Kim Jong Ji. We've shown together. We were in the Philippines together. We know each other, and I always get dumbfounded, tongue tied when I'm around him. I'm a huge fanboy, and the guy just blows my mind. He's not human. He is simply not human.
Yeah, I remember the year before when we both went to CTN. Well, when we all went to CTN, we walked over to the bar. We saw him just like a couple of feet away from us, and you just were going, "Oh my God, that's him over there. Don't look." Like you were seriously fanboying that moment. It made me giggle.
Oh yeah. So watch this. There's a way that I can do texture and do almost like an iridescent texture. I've created this brush that's just all these dots, and I'm going to space them out a little bit so we can just get a lot of dots. Around this jitter, flip. I just want spontaneity. Control, direction, maybe we'll just do that. And I'm going to knock this down. And let's make it blue. No, like a. Let's try orange. I want to see what happens if we do orange. And I'm going to copy this layer just in case I destroy it. I have something to fall back on. And I'm going to keep this on color dodge, but I'm making these textures kind of jump around. So what you'll see is this really interesting kind of texture effect. It's not really scales, but it's a texture that I kind of like.
Are you thinking of keep making that as the primary texture, or do you think you're going to be adding any scales underneath or above that?
I'm not sure yet, because when you look at it like this, I don't know that you necessarily need the scales.
Especially if you're determining on how small you want the scales to be.
Yeah. See, so there's this, and you get this really cool effect, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to try something else. Let's try making a scale brush, and we're going to try burning it in the same way. So I'm going to go back to what we had. Let's copy it again, turn that off, but now I'm going to go File, New, and we're just going to do something that's 5 inches by 5 inches. I'm going to show you guys how to make a brush, and we can make a texture brush. We're going to go Create. I'm going to just grab a dark brush, and let's see here. I'm going to come up here, and we want scales, right? Right?
Right. Scales.
Right. Scales. So let's do this. I'm going to go over that. Oh, 27. I got to go normal. So I'm just creating these scales here that are I'm gonna keep them kind of random. You can do this with feathers too. Now the reason I'm not putting them together is because I'm going to be brushing over the same area a couple times, and so they're gonna build up on each other. Twitch question: Hey Aaron, people always talk about avoiding tangents composition wise. Can you talk about why does this look good even though her hair is cutting the frame? No, see that's a misnomer as far as the frame being a tangent. I had the hair. Oh, I can't talk. Hold on. There we go. The hair is going off the frame, but in a definite. It's not just touching the frame. It's going off the frame. So your eye knows that hair there's a place off frame. Now, if the hair were just kind of twirling around and the edge of it touched the frame and then it came back in, that would be a tangent that's uncomfortable. But it's a definite decision to make that hair go off the frame, and your mind just follows it. Okay, so what I've done here is I'm going to turn off the background. I've created these scales. I'm going to go to Edit, Define Brush Preset. I'm going to let's call these scales. Go OK. And so now I've got these scales right here. See them? Boop, boop, boop. Move them around. So now let's go back to our drawing here. And so now I've got, whoops. So now I've got these scales, like so. I'm going to shrink them up. I'm going to go back to, let's make them orange, bright orange. We're going to go to color dodge, which we have. Oh, we got it already all set. Okay,
set,
so 40. I'm not going to make it.
Is it on a new layer?
No, I'm doing it right over the actual layer.
Gotcha.
Oh, one thing I have to do is I've got to set up my brush presets. So right now, if I brush it, it just looks like this. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to Shape Dynamics, and I want to push the spacing a little bit, like so. And I also want to turn the direction. I'm going to go back to my Shape Dynamics, and go. If I click on direction, now if I draw it, no matter what direction I draw, the scales will follow. So if I draw like this, the scales follow like so. See? And it looks like she has scales. But right now, what I want to do is really increase the power of that color dodge. Let's experiment here. Look at that, we got scales. You see that?
We have the scales.
Very cool.
Now, do you like this one better? Or do you like this one better? Or maybe it's a combination.
Yeah, combining the two. Because then you have like the mix of big and small scales.
Yeah. So here we got the scale texture happening. I can go in with different sizes and hit it. I can change the color too. Let's go to this nice bright blue. I can get some scales up on top.
How do you choose colors in a composition thumbnail stage?
Say that again?
How do you choose the colors in the composition thumbnail stage?
I usually don't. Usually I at the thumbnail stage I'm looking at just the value structure, the lights and darks. So here I want to get rid of, I've turned on another layer underneath, so I can erase away, whoops. some of these that I feel have gotten too much in here. I can erase away, clean up a little bit. There we go.
Would you ever draw two giraffes love necking for my mom for Mother's Day because she loves giraffes?
Sure.
I know it's a completely random question, but
All right, so there's the scales. There's those. I like that a lot too.
the big scales are
That
combining them.
that texture.
That one?
These two. What if I did this?
What if you lower the opacity on the smaller one, but you put the bigger scales over that? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Is that the idea you were having?
I'm lowering the opacity on the one on top, giving it a little bit of texture that way. Well, let's see here. See, this always comes as an issue. Well, let's try something else. There's another thing I want to try. So, let's see here. Hold first.
Sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Did you sneeze into your elbow?
I sneezed into my hand.
Oh, great. All right, so I like that blue too. What if there's a way to combine? So now I'm going to jump back down to my other one here, and I got to go back to my presets again. Go to scattering, shape dynamics, angle jitter, brush tip shape. I want to scatter that out a little bit, and we'll leave it at that. Hey Aaron, you're incredibly hardworking. I'm animating along of your stream, and I've got a bit bored already. How long can you draw or animate without a break? It seems you can do it endlessly. I love what I do. I really do. So here I'm adding that texture on. Yeah, I just decided to do it that way. I like that. It makes it feel sparkly. Makes it feel sparkly. Sparkly.
How do you do this live stream screen capture? Well, there's a particular scene app on OBS.
Oh, BS.
OBS that allows you to pick up whatever is on the display, and so everything that he's seeing is what you guys are seeing right now through OBS. And the software that he is currently using to draw all this is with Photoshop.
And so we're finishing up now. I think we're getting to the end of it. I'm going to use a dry brush, and I'm just going to try.
Why would you not create a
Oh,
separate layer for the
normal.
scales?
Because I wanted to get the texture right into the body and affect the colors that I've actually put down there. So that's why.
Is the mermaid hungry?
Maybe. Maybe.
Can you buy a permanent Photoshop license, or is it still subscription based only?
Still subscription based only. I don't like it.
What about the atmospheric layers?
Well, that's the thing. See, here's the thing.
You see, here's the thing.
I flattened everything down to one layer.
You what?
Yeah. But there is something I want to do here. Let's do this. I'm going to go. It might not work. I want to see what overlay will do. And do the airbrush. Didn't really do anything. What are your thoughts on Loish's artworks? Have you ever met her? I think she's awesome. No, I haven't met her, but I think she's incredible. Just trying to emphasize that light just a little bit more. Now, I'm going to set it to normal. And look, I'm going to push that fin back through water atmospheric perspective. There. See how that gets pushed back? Now we really feel like there's some water back there between us. I'm going to push this back a little bit too. Maybe go a little darker with it. A little
What's it like being a professional animator? Have you ever pitched a show or a movie?
I directed a movie. Yes, I pitched it and directed it. So it's wonderful. It's a great feeling. There, so let's see if I've done too much there. I think I did a little too much back here. Sorry guys, I'm making it so small, but I've got to see it small in order for it to read for me.
Will you do some gouache paintings or other traditional media like acrylics, watercolor, pencil in the next streams?
Yes. I will in the future. There, I think we did it. What do you think, Dustin?
You did it.
Yeah, I like it.
Me like it.
I was Nick was saying I was liking the kelp or whatever it was, broke up the symmetry a bit. Maybe more of that, or bubbles, fish in the foreground close to the camera POV. That's actually a great idea. Actually, fish swimming by close to the camera is a really good idea. I'm going to do it right over the atmospheric stuff and go really dark. Oh, that's a really cool idea, Nick. Actually,
Nick.
so we can do a couple of things. Let's do this. Like kelp. I've actually drawn lots of kelp. See, when you get your visual library fills up the older you get and the more jobs you do. Oops. Do you know any online resources or books to understand how colors work? Complementary, opposite values? I always struggle to choose colors and understand values. Yes, we have an excellent course on our website by Ronnie Williford that covers everything you just mentioned. It's very good. And it's 60% off right now.
Do you ever do mentorships?
I don't. No mentorships. We just don't have the time or the resource. I don't know if this is actually going to work right now. I was going to say if this doesn't work, then I'm going to go to adding some fish.
Is there a place for these paintings on your website?
Is there a place? Yes, there will be. Oh, there will be. You will be.
Somebody comments, when you think you have nothing else to do, Aaron comes and BAM! And Aaron doing the one more thing.
Oh yeah.
Just one more thing. Let me try one more thing.
Well, see, that's you got to do it.
Well, I think we got everything. This looks great. Well, hang on. Let me do one more thing here. Oh, fishies. Would you consider selling prints of these paintings?
Oh, absolutely. I'm never against doing that.
How long have you been working as an animator or a artist?
For 35 years professionally.
How would you advise approaching your courses? Like spread it out through multiple weeks or watch it all in one sitting?
Spread it out. You'll go crazy if you watch it in one sitting.
Especially with the quarantines that's currently going on.
Yeah.
Treat it like a daily sitcom show or something. Just like at a certain time of the day, play the episode, and then once you're done, wait till the next day. Would you be interested in me sending you some dinosaur info so you can learn to draw and animate them? That'd be so cool.
I could figure it out.
When is the big site discount going to end?
We're not sure yet. It all depends on the coronavirus, really.
What are your thoughts about Lightbox?
I love Lightbox. It's just it's not going to happen this year. It got canceled. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that yet or not, but actually, you know what we're going to do on this? We're going to take all this and we're going to edit, and we're going to go to transform horizontal. Now we're going to take all this. I'm going to move it over here.
And Rashika Chan says, "Hi, we met at Comic-Con in India."
No, we didn't.
Rashika?
Comic-Con in India.
Have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
No. I've been to Comic-Con, but not Comic-Con in India. Let's see. Not sure if these are working. I don't want to compete.
Did I already ask your thoughts on Lightbox?
Yep.
Alright, just double checking that. Are you going to CTNX this year? Or this November?
If it's not canceled, we will be.
Do you remember the first animation you ever made? Your personal animation ever made? And so what was it about?
I've never done my own short. No, it's all been just for work for Disney. Now let's take this and take it over here and balance it out that way.
In your time in the industry, have you worked as a story artist?
I've done story. I didn't work as a story artist, but I've done story, yes. Right about there. What do you think? Balance it out a little bit? I don't like it. On here. Just a couple of fish right there. There we go.
Yeah, Craig Smith says, I think I saw that Lightbox Expo was going to try to be a virtual event.
Yes, they're going online with it. So Nick says that we'll have more prints and art up on the site soon. Couldn't get it up.
Shutting down.
I'm Nick says he's behind on that, but that's okay. So there it is. I'm done. We've added some fish. That was a good suggestion from Nick. I like that. Some foreground fish swimming by, and we added, the glow gives it a little bit of atmosphere. Water. We want some water in there, and I love adding the bioluminescence. That was a fun idea, and I like the idea of it in the hair too. That all feels really good.
Somebody suggested, what if the fish were blurred to give it a depth of field look?
That's what I did. See, they're blurred.
Ah.
I don't want to blur them so much that they lose their form.
Yeah, and plus they don't really look close enough to the lens to be that
Super blurred.
to be
Yeah.
super blurred. Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like they're just they look like they're just a front of.
Now let's try one more thing. Because I got to do one more thing.
One more thing every time.
Just give it a little more saturation.
When's your next live stream? And if it's May 4th, some Star Wars then?
Now, next live stream is going to be Tuesday.
Which is the 5th.
Yeah. I don't do fan art. So there we go. And the last thing we got to do is sign it.
Signature. Don't forget the signature.
All right, folks. There it is. That was fun.
Bam.
So there's our first mermaid of the season. Our mermaid. Let me pan and scan for you.
La Mermaid.
La mermaid. Do it that way. There, now we can see it a lot better. So there she is.
It's gonna be a little tight for the Instagram viewers.
Yeah, I know. I'm just keeping them centered. Mermaid from the deep. There he is, reaching up with his lantern.
Cool.
I converted it all down to one layer, Nick.
Oh, is he suggesting more stuff?
Less fish.
Oh, less fish.
Could probably do less fish. Let's do that. Just backtrack.
One more thing.
Always.
Always. There will be one more thing. Always.
The force will be with you. Always.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Started out with one fish. Two fish. There it is.
Fish.
One fish.
Fishy.
Now let's do this. One fish, two fish. Layer. Merge layer. Double it again. One fish, two fish, three fish, four fish.
Did you shrink those or did you enlarge them?
I shrunk them.
Oh, you shrunk them? Cool. Le fish? No, less fish.
The fish. Le Pew? Le Pepe?
Le Pepe.
How about that? How about that as our fish? Take that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Nick. Alright.
There's that one in the middle there that looks like a little bit overlapped.
No, I want an overlap.
Oh, you want to overlap?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. In nature, you're not going to just sit perfectly.
Okay.
So then I go down to transfer, transform, flip horizontally, all of those. I want them over here. I'm going to go edit, free transform. I'm going to blow them up. Bring them by in
For them fish, looks like school was canceled.
here. Kind of like him overlapping him like that.
Oh, overlapping the diver.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Ooh, what about a mermaid riding a seahorse in the future? What's the
There
name
we
of the
go.
movie? What's the name of the movie you directed?
What?
Brother Bear. I was asking, what was the name of the film you directed?
Oh, Brother Bear.
Brother Bear.
There we go. I like it like that. That's the way I'm doing it, Nick. Nice!
Nice.
Yes, overlap is cool. And then, over the top of that, we go... I'm going to grab this. Maybe not that color. Let's see. Maybe... Yeah, I'm just going to do it. Just going to do it, man. Just going to do it right there. And then we'll blur them. So get a little texture in there. A little less blur. I like that. Alright, we're sticking with it. Gotta go back to my signature again. I gotta re-sign it. Alright, that's my painting and I'm sticking to it.
There's always a bigger fish.
Alright, there we go, folks. There
That's
it
it.
is. Our first mermaid.
Woo!
This time the fish are sticking.
Woohoo!
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 All right, you guys. So remember, going over to creatureartteacher.com, we've got crazy sales going on. There's free animation courses, dollar courses, courses that are 60% off. There's all kinds of stuff. And we just recently put my oil painting course down to $1. The entire course is only $1. So going over there and check it out. If you enjoyed today, I've got a lot more stuff like this over there. I've got a whole digital painting course that's really knocked down really cheap. So creatureartteacher.com. Let me blow this up again so we can pan and scan. You can see it a little more. But that was fun today. I really enjoyed working with you guys and showing you some of my techniques. And I hope you guys learned something. And so until Tuesday, go on out there and stay safe. Put some beauty back into the world. I know as of Monday, a lot of states are going to be relaxing their stay-at-home rule and all that. Be careful with all of that. And if you don't have to go out, don't go out. Give it a little bit more time if you can. And we don't want a resurgence. And so anyway, put some beauty back into the world. Get out there, paint some mermaids. It's May. Have a great time doing it. And I really enjoyed hanging with you guys today. And I will see you on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Dustin?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And if any of you new folks here are interested in any wildlife photography, you can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaze. Again, that's Dustin_Blaze over on Instagram, and I do wildlife photography there, and I post a new photo every day, or at least I try my best to. But so yeah, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed this, and hope you guys have a good weekend. Stay safe out there, and yeah, see you guys on Tuesday, and may the future 4th be with you, and Cowboy Bebop. See ya.